What's up, everybody? Welcome to Storm Sessions. My name is Danny Enriquez, and I'm here, the new wide receiver for your Miami Hurricanes, CJ Daniels. CJ, how you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed to be here, man.
I'm blessed to have you here. I know you're feeling healthier. I saw you practice. You're talking. You're making plays. Just tell me how it feels to be back out there doing your thing.
Man, it's a blessing, man. This is a kid's game, just growing up playing this game. And, when it's taken away from you for a while, man, you just itching to get back on that field. And, finally being out there with the guys and just sharing the field and, having fun with it, man, it's a blessing for sure.
And for those who don't know, recovering from foot surgery, right? Yeah. Back 100%. So just, you mentioned the kids' game. Let's take it right to the beginning, right? Atlanta, Georgia.
Yep.
Growing up, athletic family. I know your dad. Talked to him. Great dude. Basketball player. Yep. Says you never beaten him to this day. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
We could talk about that.
Is that accurate or what?
I think I got one game on him. It might have slipped his mind. That happens because don't nobody forget a loss. So it definitely slipped his mind. I got one on him for sure.
Well, let's just say you haven't been able to practice because you're focusing on your football career. Yeah. Otherwise, you'd be taking them, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So taking it back, though, athletic family, what were your early memories just growing up, playing sports, being with the family?
Growing up, man, I had a brother around the same age as me. And, it was always a competition, man, in the house. Like, I wanted to be better than him. I wanted to, do what he couldn't, man. And, I think that just built a very competitive spirit. My pops took me to a park one day called Browns Mill Park. And basically he was like, just go out there, have fun. And I did that and I was good at it. So, growing up, I talked to him about it and I wanted to take it serious. Like, the goal came to, me being in the NFL or the NBA, it didn't matter. And my dad took it and ran with it. So there were times where middle school, high school, before school, like we're going to the gym at 5 a.m. We get some shots up. We at the gym doing cardio, whatever it is to, get me to that point, man. And I definitely got to thank him for that, man, for sure.
And to hear him tell it, 'cause I talked to him before we did this interview, he said that he kind of left it up to you. He said, listen, when you're ready to do this 5 a.m. thing, you come to me.
Yeah, for sure. So like it was to a point where, I had to wake him up. So like, or he would already be up and just waiting on me to, wake up and stuff. So he definitely instilled in the dog in me that I have, the competitive spirit and, just to go out and be dominant at whatever I do, whether it was football or basketball.
Do you remember what it was? I mean, you were a little kid, but what made you say, all right, I'm going to do it today. This is the time I'm going to make that step.
Really seeing those that came before me, honestly, just having that thought in my mind that, my family could be taken care of by me playing this game. So, at the end of the day, I just wanted to, I don't want my parents to work again. I want to put them in that position to where, they can just go live and enjoy life without everything else. So that was the goal for me, and it's still the goal for me. Just go out and be dominant and chase my goals. And like I said, I don't want my family to work again.
Did you have a preference between football and basketball as a kid?
I was good at both. It wasn't really a preference. If I could do it over, I'd probably say I would take basketball more serious. I think I just got more opportunities in football, so it made it an easier choice for me. But, it was either or. But I think basketball definitely correlated to how I moved and stuff on the field. So, yeah.
What are some of the things you took from basketball to your football game?
Really my release game. So basically, like, basketball is really just release work. Having the ball, trying to get around a defender is basically the same thing as releasing and stacking the defender. So you're trying to beat them to the cup, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what releases is, man. So, there's a lot of workouts that I do with the basketball before I even, start releases and stuff like that, because that definitely translate the hip, shoulder, and eye movements and stuff like that. It definitely translates.
And you were always a guard?
Always a guard, but I was big enough to guard whoever. So I'll probably play point guard and go back and guard a 5. So
a little LeBron action.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And how about football? Were you always a receiver? You play a little quarterback?
So growing up, when I first started, I started at running back, and then I transitioned to quarterback. But it was, I don't know, for some reason, like in high school, I've always wanted to play receiver, man. And I got to high school coming in, and I came in as a quarterback, but they had like 3 to 4 quarterbacks. So I'm like, man, I might as well make this transition, man. So ninth grade, after that first year, man, I actually played safety my sophomore year. Sophomore year, I played safety because I was just trying to, get on the field as a young guy. And, it definitely paid off, man. Me making that transition to receiver, it definitely paid off. I definitely don't regret it, and, I'm having a lot of fun with it.
So we're talking about the building blocks kind of the receiver you are today. You mentioned the releases, playing basketball. Playing quarterback, I know you stopped at the high school level, but did playing quarterback help you with what you're doing now?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, being a quarterback is all about timing and, just knowing your personnel. So anytime I try to, connect with the quarterbacks and ask them what they see, man, or anything that I could do better. Just being quarterback friendly. That's the main thing. You want to be quarterback friendly.
And then on the defensive side, not every receiver wants to play on the defensive side of the ball, different kind of mentality. What do you take from playing safety?
Man, defensive back might be the hardest position there is. Like, it really is. Them just changing direction and, they go off more reaction than anything. So it was definitely a plus for me to be on that defensive side and, go back to offense and really understand, like, he's using this technique. His alignment is like this. So playing defense definitely helped me as well.
In terms of Atlanta, just growing up there, that's tons of sports.
Oh, yeah.
Very competitive football and basketball. Probably, we're down here in South Florida. We like to think we're the number one, but Atlanta's definitely got a case when you consider the whole area. What was it like playing sports there, competition level and everything else?
It was crazy, man. I had a little league team, and there's probably about 10 to 12 D1 kids on that team that's playing collegiate football right now, or they're going to the NFL. But it was always crazy, man. I feel like Georgia definitely has top 3 football in the nation, no matter what anybody says. But as far as that, it was definitely real competitive. I did a lot of travel football growing up. And coming into high school, Gwinnett County, playing at 7A football, I played against a lot of dudes, man, that are playing collegiately right now or in NFL. So I think, playing in Georgia definitely helped me for the next level.
Basketball too, right? Brandon Boston, right? Guys that are playing college now.
Yeah.
Were you as successful on the basketball court as you were on the football field in high school? Was one kind of ahead of the other at different times?
Like I said, I was getting more opportunities with football. My school wasn't being heavily recruited as far as basketball, but we did play a bunch of guys that are in the NBA right now. So like I said, I was just out there having fun for the most part, man. So it was definitely fun and very competitive to go against those guys.
I know one thing that your dad does is, kind of life coaching and motivational speaking. What are some things that he instilled in you just in terms of mindset and how you approach life?
Man, we got this brand called Subliminal Athlete to where basically, you speak positive affirmations into existence. So one thing that he definitely installed in me is like, just prepping myself up, before a practice or before anything, like, you got this, like, this is you, dominate, kill, like just those saying stuff like that definitely, helps pump me up and gets me going. So I'm gonna definitely use that for the rest of my life and pass it down for sure.
And we'll continue with your story, but obviously kind of doubted different steps along the way. It wasn't just a smooth, hey, I'm a 5-star going on the clear path. How much of that, having your dad there and just you knowing how to sort of train your mindset and keep the right attitude, how'd that help you get through some of these obstacles?
Oh, he helped me a bunch, man. Going through certain things throughout my career so far, man, I was going through a lot, man, like hanging my head low, and he was like the best outlet, man. I can literally talk to him about anything and I would instantly feel encouraged and motivated, man. So I'm definitely glad I got him in my corner, man, for sure.
You're playing a lot of sports, multiple sports.
Yep.
I know you've always been a student athlete from what I understand. So as far as academics, keeping that on point, did you have time for anything else when you were growing up? Any other kind of hobbies or interests?
I probably really just coach with my dad. I had a little brother that played at the park I played at, and man, when I was done with football, I would go coach with him, and it was definitely fun to give back, give game, give knowledge to those kids because they want to be just like you, So that was probably a big thing. I definitely did a lot of coaching with him.
And I know, listen, these are not kids that you're dealing with now here
Mm-hmm.
at the University of Miami or last year at LSU, but being a veteran receiver, is that something that you take on? Like, hey, I'm trying to pass it on as well on top of focusing on my own self?
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, right when I first got here, man, I had a conversation with all the receivers, and you know, I told them straight up, man, what I want for me and what I want for the room, man. And you know, I told them, I said, we got to be as one. Like, we got to be the most locked in group. We got to be the most dominant group, and you know, we got to put the work in, man. So from that day forward, they took it and ran with it. So we've been getting a lot of film. We catch jugs every day. And we do a lot of extra stuff with our coach as well. So it's literally every day. It doesn't stop.
Is there a highlight, whether basketball court, football field from high school, that you go back and watch, or you were just like, man, there's a moment I look back on in my high school career that was like, yeah, that was a moment?
I'll probably say the day I committed to Liberty was August 23rd. And it was our first game versus Mountain View. And man, I made a catch on like two dudes, man. I feel like I was in slow motion, but I ran like a corner route and it was two dudes. Quarterback just threw it up, boom, came down. I just rocked the baby to sleep, man. So that was probably a big memory, man. And another memory was probably basketball. I'd probably say we were in the playoffs, man, and I was on defense and the dude was out. He was passing the ball in. And I went up like a safety, took the ball, did a behind the bag, and then I ended up dunking the ball on the fast break, man. So, yeah, that was a pretty good memory.
Were you a finisher as a guard, or were you like the guy setting everybody else up?
Man, I was everything. Like I told you, like I would bring the ball up and I would go back and guard a big. So, really, I'm a team player, man. Whatever the coach need me to do, I'm going to do it.
So, again, I told you off air, I'm watching some of your stuff from when you were in high school, knowing that you played all these different sports, positions. Yeah. The fact that you were overlooked is a little crazy to me, just given where you're from, Atlanta, and obviously knowing how it turned out now with you sitting here today. Why do you think teams, some of the bigger Power 4 schools, didn't see your talent like we know it now?
I'm not really sure, man. A lot of coaches really had me playing like the waiting game, like, hey, if this guy doesn't come, we gonna, like, I was just rolling with what I had, man. And for me, being overlooked, man, it couldn't have been a better story now. Like, it just made me work harder. You know, not having the Power 5, Power 4 now offers that I wanted in high school just made me go harder. So, you know, when I got to Liberty, man, I worked my butt off, man, just to get to the position that I am today, man. And it came with work. So that's really why I'm here.
In Liberty, that's a pretty strict school. I mean, you don't seem like someone who's messing around too much. But what was that adjustment like, going from high school to being at a pretty disciplined type of college?
Man, it was pretty cool, man, because I had guys coming in that had to go through the same thing, man. So, you know, we had fun with it for sure. But there were definitely a lot of, you know, strict rules and things like that, especially for those that were on campus they had to abide by. But I feel like it was a really great college experience, man. I had the fun times. I had great friends, man. And, man, we had fun playing football. So that was the main thing, man.
And your career at Liberty was a progression, right? I mean, you were a good player when you got there, but it really peaked later. You had an injury, right? ACL. Talk to me about just your progression on the football field from where you got to Liberty and then when you ultimately broke out.
All right, so coming in, man, we had a quarterback, Malik Willis, who recently transferred in. And before I even got to Liberty, man, he took me under his wing to, you know, go out and, you know, throw before we even got to campus. So just bonding with him, it made things a lot easier, man. So, like, when we got on the field, it was just like backyard football, man. Like, we did this before. And a lot of things we worked on off the field directly correlated to the system we were in. So, you know, coming in as a freshman, you know, freshmen always come in with, you know, goals to play and stuff like that. And I was able to do that. So coming in, I think I had about, like, not even 300 yards, 3 touchdowns my true freshman year. The next year I went for like 7 touchdowns for like 600 and something. And then the third year, 2022, I tore my ACL, destroyed my whole knee. And man, that was really tough, man. I never forget the day. It was really tough for me, man, because I feel like I was this close to where I was supposed to be, which is the NFL. You know, I thought it was going to be my league year. But, you know, God had other plans for me, man. So I definitely don't question it. And throughout that time, man, I had to go hard, bro. Like, I stayed up there for the whole 6 months, and I got back in 6 months in a week. Like, I was just up there grinding, man. So I tore my ACL spring, came back and played third game of the season. So, you know, coming back that year, I ended with a touchdown. I played in like 4 games. You know, I think it was the best decision for me to, you know, save my years, get healthy, and, you know, come back next year and dominate. And yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, you were a superstar that year, ended up entering the portal.
Yep.
A lot of interest. I know Miami had a lot of interest in you. Yeah. You did not know at the time that Miami would have the number 1 overall pick at quarterback. Right. So it was a little different situation looking back on it. But just talk to me about your decision to enter the portal at that time and then ultimately go to LSU.
For me, just growing up and, you know, coming from where I come from, man, a lot of people don't get the opportunity that I had. So for me, just playing at the Power 5 level and playing in the SEC period was a big goal for me. You know, just going into LSU and, you know, seeing all them dudes on the wall, man, it just made me want to be a part of it. So yeah, going there, man, it was a great experience for me as far as the SEC didn't go the way I wanted it to, but you know, I'm blessed to even be able to say I played at an SEC level, man. A lot of people, you know, can't say that, man. So yeah.
And you were dealing with an injury. I know Coach Kelly talked about it. I saw a quote that he was saying, we were talking about off air, that you could, you know, you were barely getting through the week to just get ready for the game. So what was that like? You have a lot of expectations for yourself coming off an incredible year. You know you could play at this level. You know you could play at the SEC level, and your body's kind of not showing your full ability.
Man, it was definitely frustrating, man, because there were a lot of things that, you know, I was limited to because of the injury. But you know, like I said, man, God had a plan for me, man, and His plan wasn't for me to do it right now, man. So I'm thankful that I do have another year, man, and I'm blessed with the opportunity that I can go and show what I can do healthy.
And before we get off LSU, you mean you still started, you still produced, you still did your thing. Yeah. And one thing I've heard just talking to people is you were very much a leader in that locker room, even though you were a first-year guy as far as that program. What was that like coming in as a veteran, but you're still the new guy and you want to make sure, you know, your voice is heard?
Right. So at the end of the day, man, you know, everybody, you know, can talk about stats and things like that. But, you know, at the end, like I had three-ish years under my belt, man. So I have a lot of experience, man. So for me going in, I had to use that experience to the best of my ability. And, you know, experience come with, you know, giving knowledge to others and, you know, giving to the youth, man. So for me, that's the main thing, man, just inspiring others to, you know, just play at a high level, man. And that's what I was trying to do, man. Just gather those guys around and, you know, lead.
So you go back in the portal again.
Yep.
Miami's in kind of a similar situation where there's some turnover at quarterback. There's some good options on campus, but there's still some kind of uncertainty about what's going to happen. Miami still wants you bad. I know that for a fact. Obviously, we know how it turned out. What was that like the second time around?
Man, coming around and Miami still wanted me, like, it just kind of clicked in my head. Like, this is not a game. Like, Coach Beard called me. He was like, are we going to make it happen this time? So I'm like, man, let me go out here and take a visit, man, and really, you know, talk to these guys, man, because them still wanting me after I didn't come here the first time, like that just shows how much they care and how much they want me to be here, man. So, you know, I came here, took a visit, man, and man, I loved every part of it, man. And for me, it's more about the people here and the relationships. I could really care about what state I am or where I'm at. It's about you know, just having genuine people around you, man. And, you know, this staff definitely showed me how much they care. So I definitely, I love it here. So, yeah.
And you talked about LSU. Obviously, they've got a tremendous wide receiver tradition. You come here, you look on the wall, you see Hall of Famers, Andre Johnson, Michael Irvin, you know, guys that did at the highest level in the league. Do you feel that kind of pressure is the wrong word, but just that, hey, there's a standard here that is at the highest level?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. I'm getting coached by a guy who won the 2001 national championship, man. So he know what it feels like, man, and he just trying to get us to that point, man. So, you know, he's holding me to that standard. You know, me holding myself, but he's holding me to that standard. He know I'm a vet, and he know what I'm capable of. So, you know, just having that guidance in the room as well definitely plays a part.
I've seen you at practice the first half of spring. you're like about to come back, you're doing some stuff, you're watching some of these young receivers make a lot of plays, right? And then now you're out there doing it yourself. What was that like? Just you're like right on the border. You're like, man, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to play, but not being able to play. And then now doing your thing.
Man, it's a blessing, man. Like, you know, this is what I work for, man. And you know, all the time I put in rehab was for this moment, man. So, you know, being back out there, man, I had the biggest smile on my face today, man. Just being able to, you know, catch the ball, being able to run routes, man, it's a blessing in disguise. So for sure, I'm very grateful.
And we talked about the journey a little bit. You know, you deal with COVID. We didn't talk about that, and not being recruited the way that you should have been recruited. The knee injury, now the foot injury. No, we see all the touchdowns and the good stuff, but the stuff you do, rehabbing and not necessarily feeling like you want to go out there and do workouts. What allows you to push through? What's your driver to push through those hard times?
Really just going back on my why. Like, you know, I got pictures in my locker of like, you know, my family. And that just reminds me every day, like why am I doing this? And it's for them for sure. So yeah, just leaning back on why I do this and reverting back to, you know, my habits that I have growing up of, you know, just putting my head down and putting the work in, man. So I think that's what it all goes back to.
So after your Miami career, after your NFL career, what do you see yourself doing? Coaching?
I could definitely see myself coaching or doing something to get back to the youth, man. That's something I want to do is get back, whether that's coaching or, you know, whatever it may be.
Sure. We got some fan questions here.
Okay, bet.
So 941 Dusty wants to know, what should Miami fans expect from you, CJ Daniels?
You're going to get a competitor, man. You're going to get a guy that, you know, that works hard every day with a great attitude. And, you know, just I'm going to come to work every day, man. That's what you're going to get.
So Frank Tura wants to know, how's it feel playing for the Canes? You know, putting on the uniform, looking in the mirror, going out there and performing.
Man, it's crazy. Like, just being in the orange green, I would have never thought I'd be here, man. And it's definitely a blessing for me to be able to be here and do that for sure.
Hollywood 2626 wants to know some of your goals for this year.
Win the ACC championship, and I want to get in the playoffs because that's a big goal for me. Just playing after the season play, like I haven't experienced it yet, and that's definitely something I want to do, man. Not just for me, but for the team. You know, if we keep winning, like we get drafted and we win. You know, So it definitely plays a big role. I definitely I want to win the ACC championship, and I want to go to the playoffs.
Let me ask you, I've seen you at the basketball games with Carson Beck. You guys were like two of the old dudes, right? I mean, you know, you're not old, but
older, for sure.
older, right? You know, what's that? I know you just got here, or he just got here. You guys are still building that bond, but what's that connection been like?
It's been good, man. We've been kicking it a lot outside of football, man. Just kicking it, man. Chilling, playing games, bro. Like, go to different games, man. And I think that's gonna reflect on what we do on the field, man. So like a lot of stuff that we do outside is gonna show up on the field. Like you can just tell, like the chemistry is gonna be there, man. So you know, not just me, man. We trying to get a lot of the other receivers, old linemen together. We doing certain things. We're going out to eat, stuff like that, man. Just trying to build those bonds, man. So when we come on the field, man, we know what to expect.
Let me ask you, because obviously you're locked into what you're personally doing, but last year, the last couple of years, are you seeing like a Carson Beck, you know, throwing all those touchdowns to Ladd McConkey? Are you seeing Miami's offensive line blocking for Cam Ward? Things that, you know, obviously are going to impact you this year. Were you aware of what these dudes were doing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it was something that if you didn't see it, like what were you doing? Like, you feel what I'm saying? So I definitely seen the things that they did in the past, especially Cam over this past year. He had an incredible season, man. And, you know, I just can't wait to, you know, pick up where they left off, man. So I think, you know, that's why we're here. That's why we got those pieces, man, to finish the job, man. So, yeah.
Question from Hezekiah. How old were you when you scored your first touchdown?
My very first touchdown?
First touchdown with a ref. Let's say not backyard. So with a ref and a whistle, what was your first touchdown?
Probably like 4 years old. Yeah,
wow.
4 years old. Man.
That was tackle football?
Tackle football.
Man.
Yep.
I know you guys started that early. I know we do here. I didn't know you started that early.
Yeah, I think it started at like 5. I was probably playing up, but yeah, I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. Man.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
We were playing running back, you said?
Running back, yep.
Just hand you the ball, get in there.
Just go. Hand it and run. Find the grass.
Do you still remember it?
Vividly. I got like a little highlight tape that from my younger days.
Oh, yeah, we got to get that for you. Put that on this one right here. So this one's from Abubin. He wants to know your favorite food.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've been eating a lot of spinach dip lately, man. I'm in love with spinach dip, bro. It got to be the one from Publix, though. But spinach artichoke dip, man, if you got it, bring it to me. I eat it for you, for sure.
All right. Crash Out Allen wants to know. We talked about this a little bit. Wants to know about just your transfer to Miami and just kind of the opportunity you saw here at Miami.
The opportunity for me was to get coached and developed, man. I think that was the biggest thing for me, just having, guys in his office that really want to coach you, man, because them coming back around the second time, like, that's really crazy to me, man. Like, they could have just, fell off and, not even been worried about me, man. So that's the biggest thing for me, man, just being coached and developed throughout this year. That's what I want to do.
From T-Flex21, he wants to know, how old is your cat?
T-Flex? That's my dog. Man, he's 2 years old, man.
What's your cat's name?
Sky.
Sky, okay.
That's my dog, yeah.
Okay. It's just you and your cat.
Me and my cat, yeah.
There you go. Made the trip down to Miami.
Took him. He was struggling, but
is he scared of all these giant iguanas you got running around here?
He don't be outside, so he don't really see too much of all the lizards and stuff like that.
All right, Jay Robertson wants to know, who's your wide receiver Mount Rushmore? So who are the four wide receivers that you look at and say, like, these are the guys I look up to?
That's tough. All right, I'm gonna go Devontae Adams, Prime Julio. I'm gonna probably have to go Keenan Allen because he's a guy that I can relate to.
Yep.
I gotta go A and B, Jamar and Justin. Like,
yeah,
I give you 5. I give you 4. Yeah, I can't leave one of them out. So.
There's some aliens on that list, like Julio, but I mean, definitely Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of. Are those guys that you look at and say, I can take some of that?
Yeah, definitely. I take a lot of their release package and things like that from both of those guys.
So we talked about this a little earlier. This is from Arbab about favorite football memories. So we talked about high school. Let's talk about college. What's your favorite football memory from college?
I'd probably say 2023 winning Conference USA Championship, man. It was big, man, for that group of kids, man, because we came in, everybody not knowing too much about Liberty and us just, keep elevating each and every year, man. And for us to get to that point and make it to the Conference USA Championship and win it, it was the first ever conference championship ever won. And it was our first year in the conference. So it was definitely a blessing to do that for Liberty. That was probably one of my favorite moments that year.
Yeah, from the outside, it seems like your era there was when Liberty went on the map.
Was evolving, yep.
So Hannah La Cubana wants to know, what's your favorite color?
Orange and green, man. That's my favorite color.
There we go. All right, last one from Hollywood. We've talked about the Miami program and the sort of the development and the coaches, and those are reasons why you picked the school. But just in terms of like the city of Miami, I know that secondary is where you're going to be, but like, what are some of the things you like about the city of Miami?
Just being able to go outside and walk around, man, and the weather, having a lot of things to do, even though I don't really do much, but just having those things around you, man, and just having a city that got a lot going on, man. It's a blessing to be here, man. But I try to keep the main thing, man, and just put the work in for sure.
I know a lot of Canes fans are excited to watch you perform. Remember to subscribe to Storm Sessions on YouTube, Canes All Access, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever your podcasts are found. CJ Daniels, man, appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me.